All right. Hey, Bronco fans, it's halftime. Not waiting for Matt. Matt should be joining us here pretty soon. Productive half by Drew Lock, 12 of 16, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He did have the fumble, but I'm not going to really blame that on him.
All
right, there's Matt joining us.
Yeah, I could not get the StreamYard to load. So I was having some technical difficulties.
All right. Just going over Lock stats, 12 of 16, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He had the fumble. I'm not really going to blame that on him. I mean, that guy was Brown was in his lap so quick he didn't even have a chance there. So solid half by Drew Lock. What do you see?
Well, I mean, we see a very scripted kind of game plan. The one thing I will say is we're seeing some RPO, which we haven't really seen Drew we haven't seen Drew run at all really this season. Which it seems to be helping him feel a little bit more comfortable. It's keeping his groove a little bit more fluid. So one thing we've seen a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage, which is huge. It helps build that rhythm. We've seen him stay in a rhythm. We've seen somewhat of an improvement in footwork. We've seen a couple bad throws. That one to Judy, just to point out, behind the line of scrimmage, you got to set your feet and put it on target. That would have been a pretty good gain. Even on the touchdown play, I don't know if you guys noticed, he did not set his feet to that touchdown with Vanette. Vanette was wide open, but had that been a tighter window, we don't know. But I'll give him kudos. He's doing a lot better today.
Yeah, he is doing a lot better. I like how he is, and it may be game plan, but he is using his checkdowns a lot more. He's using his shorter routes. We talked about it in the pregame show. Lindsey has to get involved in the pass game, and they've involved him, and he's caught the ball well out of the backfield. Hasn't broken anything, but you keep giving Lindsey those opportunities, and eventually he will break something. So,
yeah.
Happy Sunday, guys, from this user. Of course, it's always a happy Sunday when the Broncos are winning. So hopefully, knock on wood, they can hold on in the second half, but they're looking good right now. Boys look good the first half.
Yeah, it's all about setting that rhythm. So the one thing that, we've seen is those behind the line of scrimmage throws. It's helping them get into a rhythm. It opened up that really nice pass to that really big chunk yardage play to Jerry Jeudy. So that's kind of what we need to look at doing. We're going to use these short to intermediate throws to get them to close their box, shorten the gaps, cover the middle with their linebackers, and then we will see hopefully those zones open up like it did for Jerry Jeudy on that chunk yardage play. The one thing, though, is we can't get too comfortable running these plays. Eventually, once we stack the box, there's an in pressure. We've seen what happened. We did a late blitz. Cush moved off the line. Yeah, left a direct line straight at Drew, and we had a turnover. So that's kind of the negative aspect with these behind the line of scrimmage plays.
Right. Scott Cole says, even with the scripted short game plan, I like the pace of play. I do as well. I like the way they're doing it. Diana says Lock's completion percentage in the first half is good, 75%. You can't complain about that.
No.
So he had a couple bad throws. He had the one where he was throwing it out on the flat to Jeudy, where he just did not step into that ball at all.
A fumble. Yeah, if we would have lost it, that would have been a fumble because he threw it behind the line of scrimmage.
And then I think it was his first pass of the game where he threw it to Tim Patrick and over the middle. And was it Tim Patrick? I think it sailed it high.
Yeah, on the first drive. Yeah, that's a good way to lose your receiver's trust, though, especially in the middle of the field. You got to put it on the numbers there. If you keep putting it high, they're not going to want to chase it for you. Trey Boston laid a huge hit on Tim Patrick on that play. It can only take so many of those before you start losing some confidence in your quarterback.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, thanks for joining us from upstate New York. Unfortunately, we do not stream yet. Something we talked about doing in the future. Go to sportsurge.net, stream the game. Matt says the East.
Stream East is the best stream.
Stream East is the best one, so you should be able to pick it up there. So hopefully in the future, this is something that we will add to our platform, is streaming games in the future. Let's go back to our comments. Solid use of Lindsey in the game plan. I agree. We're getting him involved in the passing game. We're using him in the run game. He's that one play he got to the edge, and that's the thing. Lindsey, once he gets to the edge, can be very dangerous, and he did finally pop one through the hole. So,
Yeah. Essentially what we're doing with Lindsey is to keep it from just being this constant like ground and pound control the clock with the run. We're using Lindsey in that short passing game to pretty much act as just like it's pretty much like the run game. It's all behind the line of scrimmage. So hitting him with those quick flat routes and hitting him in the flats, letting him take it up the field. It's just a more effective way to use Lindsey against a stout defensive front. Derek Brown, like we mentioned him earlier, he crashes the middle. He's a gap filler. So Lindsey's not going to be able to power through Derek Brown. So let's utilize him on the outside.
Right, and we got to thank Carolina. Two stupid plays on there, and the roughing the quarterback. That's just being aggressive. That one was close. I won't, but we'll take it. But
I'll take it. I don't agree with the call, but I'll take it because I'm a Broncos.
So and we'll the other one with Gordon. Come on, act like you've been here before and you made a tackle. Don't stand over a guy. You're going to get flagged when you start.
Yeah, puff yourself up, but do it as you're walking away, not on standing over a guy. That's
right. I agree. So and we found out why Bosby plays cornerback. Because he can't catch.
Yeah, that was a deep post route. Yeah, the touchdown, man. He was long gone.
So, but definitely another blow with Dawson going down. So
that means we have no official slot corners left on the roster.
No
one
don't.
Who's a natural nickel or dime.
No. So hopefully Elway right now is scouring, waiver wires and everything else, because we're going to have to pick somebody up for the rest of the season. I just don't think the players we have are natural fits to fill that position. So let's see. Carl says O-line is playing good, missed a couple blitz, but still rookie mistakes. And I agree. That's a young offensive line we have out there right now. From the right guard over, they're all first-year rookies, correct?
The only one who's not is Reisner, but he's a second-year player.
Right.
So Reisner, Cushionberry, and Moody are all brand new to the NFL.
Right, and then you have Anderson playing left tackle.
Oh yeah,
what's he? Rookie, first-year guy.
I think he's first. I think he's first year. I think he was around last year.
So second-year guy, not first year. Very very young over there, and they're doing a good job. I mean, some miscommunication or a missed assignment by Cush on that blitz up the middle.
Well, it wasn't necessarily a misassignment. It was just a great defensive play call. They confused him. They just confused him. So he thought that the centers should always stay home unless
I agree.
Unless the play is designed.
Center, and that was one thing I was always taught: stay home.
Yeah, so, he just drifted, and Jeremy Chin is just been kind of a baller all around all year. So they keep highlighting him throughout the broadcast.
Right.
But it was just a good play call. They just delayed blitz.
Yeah, it definitely does. I like the way we're attacking Carolina. We're keeping them on their heels, I think, and with these short passes and things like that, I think we're keeping their pass rush at bay a little bit. So they're still bringing the pressure every now and then, but I think Locke is responding to it well.
Yeah, the play calling, the scheme that we're using right now is just to get the ball out of his hand quickly and short. It's not like what he typically tries to do, 1, 2, 3, huck it downfield. It's 1, 2, 3, huck it to the flat. 1, 2, 3, hit the a button hook in the middle. That's more of what we're doing. So we're keeping in that 5 to 8 yard range, and then behind the line of scrimmage is majority of what we're doing. It's not an effective game plan to put up points, so you're going to rely heavily on that defense like we typically do. So as long as they keep playing well, Locke can thrive in this small game plan. It's not built for success, but it's built to get a win on a team who's not prepared for it. So let's keep using this and see where it goes. They're going to have some adjustments at halftime for sure. I expect them to be bringing the blitz a lot more to counteract these behind the line of scrimmage. But they'll also probably start to have someone kind of start to spy on Lindsey and whomever the back is out of the running back. So we got to be careful with those screens. We're going to see it's real easy to get a pick six from a Jeremy Chin type player.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially if you are lackadaisical and just float the ball out there.
Yeah, Locke's got to put it.
If you're going to throw it, then put some zip on it. So and get it over there. We need to keep the momentum going on both sides of the ball. Very few mistakes in the first half, which is good. It looks like a different team, and it does. And somebody said, I can't remember who it was, somebody in our group chat said, it's amazing what Fangio is doing with this defense. because this defense is beat up. I mean, we're out all of our top 3 cornerbacks. And this defense just keeps playing and making plays and keeping us in ball games.
So yeah, that's the one thing I'll give Vic and LA kudos for. So we beat up LA all the time on drafts and everything. The one thing that he's done since Vic has gotten here, they have changed their philosophy slightly. They're bringing in the guys who were leaders on their college teams, like captains, things like that. They're really highlighting that high motor trait that coming out for those guys coming out of college. Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. So that's what we're seeing. We see these guys like Josie Jewell, team captain since sophomore year. So more guys like that are who we're bringing in, and you see it, high energy players, high guys that want to be there and try to step into, being a baller for this high energy defense.
No, I agree. So I want to ask you something. This is something that you and I talked about, and we've seen it again today. Is K-Jax playing injured? He's missing tackles he normally does not miss. He just looks off. He looked off last game. He looks off today. So I don't know if he's out there injured or what's going on. So any insight?
We've seen him play different this season, to be honest. He hasn't been wrapping up for majority of the season. He's not doing this traditional just wrap up and tackle. I think some of it comes from frustration. Like, I think he just wants to knock some dudes out. He wants to just create a turnover, create a fumble, and it's caused to some poor tackling and some big chunk yardage gains. So I don't think he's. I mean, it could be he's injured, but I think if he's injured, I don't understand why he'd be laying the wood as hard as he's trying to. I think he's just trying to force turnovers. He looks at it like we're 4-8. What the hell do I got to lose? Kind of mentality.
So, and maybe that is the mentality that he is going out with. But
I mean, yeah, he's always been known as a hard hitter. That's kind of been his thing since he's moved to safety.
Right, and he just seems to be missing tackles, not wrapping up, and I just wonder. And maybe it is what you said. Maybe he's just like, yeah, we're 4-8. I'm not going to go out there and hurt myself for certain. So.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, him being a potential casualty this year. It could be him trying to say, I'm not ready to back down. I'm not ready to quit. And I'm going to put on the best highlight I can by knocking some dudes out to try to get another contract with another team potentially, or prove his word to the Broncos. But, I mean, he knows it better than we do that the best way to do is make plays. So, make those tackles, man.
Right. Yeah, and you do. And when you go out and you start you start playing like that, you're opening yourself up to injury too. So be careful what you're doing. I mean, because sometimes you go out there and you're not given 100%. People end up getting hurt that way.
I mean, maybe this is him saying that he wants to go out with a bang. We don't know. He is up there in age. Could this be potentially his last season? I don't think that's his mentality. But I mean, maybe he's just wanting to go out, have some fun, knock some dudes out, and say, you know what, I gave it a good shot.
Yep, key stat right here from Diana. Broncos has 17 minutes of possession.
Yeah,
and that's what we need to do. We need to control the clock in the second half. Looks like the game's getting ready to come back on. So what's your outlook for the second half, Matt?
We got to find a way to get off the line of scrimmage plays. Yes, it's working, but like I said, it's really easy to make a mistake. Let's start to look at that 5 to 10 yard slants and ends, hitting them out in the flats, continue doing that. Hopefully we see Locke continue to build off of his okay footwork in this game. Let's see if he just puts it all together and brings home a win.
Okay, sounds great. We will see everybody an hour after the conclusion of the game. Myself and Matt will be here to do the Denver Bronco post-game show. We will see you guys after the game. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.